It's championship weekend at Homestead. Let's talk about the favorites. Happy Friday, everybody. I'm Eric. Welcome to Out of the Groove. I've been battling a pretty sore throat the last couple of days, so my voice probably sounds a little bit more raspy than usual, but you know, you'll get used to it pretty quick. Now, this weekend's race is Homestead, the finale, race 36 out of 36. We've been pushing for this day since February, and we're down to 4 drivers left in championship contention: Jimmie Johnson, Carl Edwards, Joey Logano, and Kyle Busch. All 4 of these drivers have dramatic storylines behind what this weekend could mean to them. Start with Jimmie. Obviously, Jimmie Johnson, good old 6-time, is looking for championship number 7, which would tie himself with 2 of NASCAR's greatest ever, Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt. Now, while Jimmie doesn't have nearly as many wins as Richard Petty, or nearly the personality Dale Earnhardt had, he's aiming for the championships. Jimmie Johnson, at this point, everyone already knows he's going to go down in history as one of NASCAR's probably top 5 greatest ever. But with a 7th championship under his belt, then he might have the stats to for sure prove it. I think it's no secret this day and age is probably the most competitive NASCAR has ever been, and it seems to only be getting more and more competitive. And so for him to do what he's done in the past and what he's continuing to do today, it's just really impressive. Carl Edwards snuck into the championship 4 with his win at Texas Motor Speedway, and Carl's looking still for his first career championship. He's been in the series for like 10, 11, 12 years now, and he's been so close a few times. He tied on points in 2011, but lost the tiebreaker to Stewart. Carl Edwards, it's honestly shocking that he hasn't won a championship yet. You gotta believe that he's gonna be locked in for Sunday. Joey Logano as well has never won a championship. Now, Joey Logano has had the last couple of years, he's looked strong. Last year looked really promising for him before he ran into troubles with Matt Kenseth. This year has kind of been up and down for him, but he's definitely peaking at the right time. He came on late to win the race at Phoenix to get himself in, and Joey Logano, looking for his first title. He's young, and he has a chance to really cement himself. A championship for Logano would really just be the icing on the cake to what has been a strong early career for him. And of course, there's Kyle Busch, who's looking for his 2nd career Cup championship, and he'd be the first person under this format to go back-to-back if he can get the title this year. We have not yet seen any back-to-back NASCAR champions since Jimmie Johnson won 5 straight back in 2006-2010. So Kyle would also be the first person to do that in quite a while. Now, if we're going to talk favorites, you can make a strong case for any 4 of these guys. As we've seen the last 2 years with this current format of the chase, the winner of the race has ultimately been the champion, so there's a very good chance that one of these 4 guys is going to have to win the race as well to be able to win the championship. It's what's been going on so far. I'll start with Jimmie Johnson. Obviously, Jimmie's had success at Homestead in the past. He does not have any career wins here. It's one of, I think, only 4 tracks he has not won at in the Cup Series circuit. But Hendrick Motorsports has been very strong lately. And yes, I got all 50 of your comments last week. I know Alex Bowman, he's not a rookie. My bad on that. I forgot that he drove full-time in the 23. I thought it was like more of a part-time thing for him. So my bad. I didn't realize he was not a 100% rookie. But yeah, Hendrick Motorsports has been strong as of late. Jimmie's been the best, and I expect him to continue to be the best and potentially win at Homestead. I'm not necessarily picking him as a favorite, but I'm just saying that to start with. Carl Edwards is one of the 4 Gibbs drivers to make it into the round of 8. He was one of the 2 Gibbs drivers to then move on to Homestead, and the Joe Gibbs Racing camp has been very strong as well as of late. They should have won Phoenix, obviously, if Matt Kenseth had been able to hold on to that restart, or Kyle Busch, who, I still don't know how he wasn't leading on that last restart, given where he was on the caution, but that's another story, another thing. But of course, Carl Edwards won at Texas Motor Speedway recently, which is a 1.5 mile high-banked racetrack. Homestead's similar in that sense, but it is a very different racetrack, but still, at least they've proven they have the horsepower over there to get it done. This is Joey Logano's 2nd time in the Final 4. He also made it in 2014, but he struggled in that race, had some problems. I think he had a bad pit stop late that kind of hurt his finish, so he didn't have a good day then. But pit road issues, other than dragging the jack around Talladega, seem to have not hindered that team too much. Logano's, the Penske guys are going to be good. I think Keselowski's going to be strong as well, but Joey Logano, look for him on Sunday. And Kyle Busch, obviously, he did it last year. Like I said with Carl Edwards, he's running with the Gibbs guys. They've been good lately. Kyle finished 2nd at Phoenix. Obviously could have won it if given the right circumstances. The 18's running well. He won this race last season to win the championship then. He's obviously proven he can do it. He could do it again. Now, if we go back to before Chicagoland when I made my final 4 picks then, I picked Brad Keselowski, Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, and Denny Hamlin as my final four. And I'm sad to say that at this point I only got one correct, and that is Kyle Busch. That being said, as of now, Kyle Busch is not my favorite this weekend. Now, obviously, stats and kind of numbers and feeling like that are going to go into my pick, but I have a slightly different reason as to why I'm picking who I am. Now, my birthday is November 18th. It's actually today if you're watching this on Friday, so happy birthday me. Thank you guys. Wow. Great, I appreciate it. And so every season, the Homestead race usually ends up either on the same weekend or at least just a few days away from my birthday, sometimes on my birthday. And so here's what I'm talking about. In 2011, it was my 14th birthday. That was the first year in a long time that I'd really started to get back into NASCAR, and I was really watching it religiously again. And that year was my 14th birthday. Tony Stewart won the championship. And now you guys are probably thinking, oh, that's not important at all, because what about the future years? Well, if you think about it, the very next season was 2012, that was my 15th birthday, and Clint Bowyer, who drove the 15 car, really looked to be in prime position to contend for the championship before Jeff Gordon took him out at Phoenix. Not saying he would have won the title, but at least, hey, the 15 car, Bowyer, who's never been that great, hey, that was a really good year for him. Now, 2013 and 2014, kind of backtrack on my opinion a little bit, because that was my 16th and 17th birthdays, and obviously Greg Biffler Stenhouse did not do that well. But here's my thing for that. The Roush Fenway guys, since Edwards and Kenseth left, they haven't been any good anyways. Those years just don't count, in my opinion. They didn't even have a chance coming in, so it's not really fair. So now fast forward to last season, 2015. It was my 18th birthday. And guess who won the championship? The 18 of Kyle Busch. I know y'all know where I'm going with this. Today is my 19th birthday, so this weekend I'm picking Carl Edwards to win it on Sunday. You heard it here first, folks. And if I'm right about it this year, y'all know who I'm picking next season. Yeah. In all honesty, though, I'm picking Carl Edwards mainly because that Gibbs team, they just won at Texas. Like I said, it's a similar track, at least in speed and somewhat in configuration to a certain extent, I suppose. But also, you look at the information Carl Edwards has to go off of compared to others. I mean, Jimmie Johnson, obviously he's Hendrick Motorsports, but he's got Dale Jr.'s not around. He's got to go off of Alex Bowman and Casey Kane. And it's not nearly, and Chase Elliott, it's not nearly the same level of kind of help he's getting that people like Carl Edwards are going to get. Carl Edwards is obviously, to some extent, going to be able to work with Kyle Busch, and definitely with Matt Kenseth and Denny Hamlin, who are both very good drivers as well. So I think Carl Edwards is just going to have the best information of the four. Couple that with the fact that that team showed speed at mile and a halfs recently, and Carl Edwards is probably the hungriest guy out there to get his first championship. Carl Edwards has won everything. He's dominated Xfinity races. He's won 30, 40 Cup races. He just doesn't have a championship yet. And this, I think, will be the year that he gets it done. You heard it here first. Although I'm probably not the first person to pick Carl Edwards. I'm sure some newspaper websites picked him already. That's really a stupid statement. But yep, so I'm picking Carl Edwards. Let me know who you think's going to win in the bottom. I know you all have probably your different opinions. This season has been one of the most competitive seasons in recent history that I can remember. All 8 of those guys in the last round had a very real shot making it to the Final Four. It all came down to the second to last, the final restart even, before we even knew who was going to make it into this Final Four. That's how competitive, that's how strong this field was this year. And that's, I think, bodes well and will prove this next race at Homestead to be an exciting and thrilling finale. So I'm looking forward to it. Hope you guys are too. Thank you all for watching. That is my show. This is the second to last episode, isn't it? So I'm going to do one episode next week. I'm not yet sure if I'm going to do it on Monday or maybe Tuesday. Whatever it is, it'll be kind of a bigger show. I'm going to talk more about kind of my favorite moments of the season. We, kind of just have a real casual, cool conversation. Obviously talk about who won, review the race a little bit. It'll be a big episode. Expect that Monday, maybe Tuesday. I know I post these Monday and Friday all the time. This one could be Tuesday. I don't know yet. Next week could be crazy. It's Thanksgiving week too, so be back in Houston where I hopefully will be able to put something together. I might do another NASCAR parody next week. Yet to be determined. I shouldn't have said that on camera because now y'all will hold me to it. I'll do my best. We'll see how it goes. Worst case, Christmas coming around, I'll have about a month or so where I'll be back in my old studio. I'll have plenty of room and space. I'll be able to make some fun stuff then. So at least look forward to that. I've talked for a very long time today. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing my predictions. I hope you guys have your own predictions in the comments. Should be exciting. I'm looking forward to Homestead, and I'll see you guys after the race. See y'all next time.